They had the allegation of racism thrust upon them.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
An allegation both he and Meghan did not correct until a few years later, after the late Queen had died, thereby gaslighting the world and causing untold emotional damage to the mental health of his family. He's supposed to be an advocate for that, for goodness sake.
Boy.
Unconscious bias, he called it, and blamed the British press for the misrepresentation. Everything he does appears to be either for money or publicity. America are sick of him. They're laughing.
What the hell?
Lived a life with the royal family, you've had everything handed to you, but you say your life has been hard, and now you've written all about it in your new book, Where? Yes, that's right, friend. You see, my wife and I are totally like, you should write a book because your family like stupid, and then so are like journalists.
I don't like where this is going.
I never get tired of that. It's hilarious. The other month, Harry collected the Pat Tillman Award against the wishes of Pat's mother. Her brave son was killed by friendly fire after giving up his lucrative sporting career to defend his country. And the other month, Harry was given the award for his work with Invictus. He claimed he was collecting the award for the brave veterans.
I'd like to begin by expressing my deepest gratitude to everyone at the Pat Tillman Foundation, led by Marie Tillman-Shenton, who I'm so honoured is here tonight.
Okay.
I'd also like to acknowledge the Tillman family, especially Mrs. Mary Tillman, Pat's mother. Her advocacy for Pat's legacy is deeply personal and one that I respect.
Are you sure about that?
The bond between a mother and son is eternal and transcends even the greatest losses.
Yeah, he's now apparently coming grovelling back cap in hand. I wonder why. It's been termed Operation Bring Harry In From the Cold. And according to the Daily Mail, he's reached out to his old mates to help facilitate. It's not clear whether Meghan will be with him if his mission succeeds, but I suspect William will have a few words to say about that one.
Come on now, dawg.
If the Sussexes want to return, Harry needs to make a massive apology, bring his kids to meet his father, and same goes for Meghan. And I can't see that happening, though, can you?
What do you mean by that?
Some might say that he wants to genuinely build bridges and seek forgiveness after the hell that he and his wife have unleashed on their families. He's seen the error in his ways, but I believe that when I see it. No, I think this is a ploy to ensure the sales of his spare paperback, which is out in a matter of weeks, in the hope that people will talk about him and make him relevant again.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
In my view, that ship has sailed. The worldwide privacy tour is over. The question is, would you welcome him home?
I don't know.
But first, let's talk Operation Bring Harry In From the Cold, as apparently, as it's underway, that's what the Daily Mail are reporting. Prince Harry seeking advice from former aides on how he should return to the country.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
After spending the past 4 years in a self-imposed exile in California, allegedly growing dissatisfied with advice from American-based image experts, of which I think they've had about 10. Well, joining me now is royal broadcaster Helena Shard. Helena, welcome to the programme. So Prince Harry...
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So Prince Harry, apparently, Operation Bring Harry In From the Cold. Do you feel there's any truth to this?
You know, I'm trying to find out who the trusted former aides are and who's been talking to who. I haven't got there yet, but lots of tongues are wagging, Nana. I mean, you know, we heard that he was at the memorial for Lord Robert Fellows, and obviously William was there as well. And so there was lots of, you know, everyone going into overdrive. That was in Stattisham, Norfolk the other day. He wasn't going to attend, said the People, mouthpiece of his. And obviously, it hadn't have been proven by so many different people, including family friends, I would have actually thought that maybe a lookalike had turned up.
What? What the?
You know, and I absolutely, you know, it still does make me wonder. It was obviously a discreet entrance, etc. But now we have been led to believe that Harry's been talking to people from friends from his old life. And it's not that he wants to make a permanent move to the UK. So I believe, from what I can see, from what I've heard, it's more about his reputation. As we know, we've heard that somebody who is absolutely fantastic left his team at the end of last year, and that was all to do with reputation management. And as we know, he needs help.
Yeah, right.
They need help.
well, he wants to have his cake and eat it by the sounds of it. I mean, obviously, no good cake remains uneaten, but he clearly wants to have the luxury of being royal, but I don't think he wants to do the work.
Wait for it. Here it comes. Almost there.
Absolutely. I mean, goodness me, he needs help. We know that the royal family is his currency. I mean, even his late mother, obviously he's almost usurped her memory, and he needs this. He needs this to make money, and things are not going his way. Things are not necessarily going their way. Is this about initiating a return to the royal family? Who knows? We'll wait and see. Does he want to spend more time in the UK? We've been led to believe he doesn't want to, yet he does.
That doesn't make sense.
And we have the court case that's going ahead. And of course, he raced in to Lord Robert Fellowes memorial service. So there's lots of ambiguous behaviour. And he is going to be, in New York. We call it the silly season, don't we? And we're also looking, there's lots of different stories that are coming out. But he needs to sell stuff. He's going to be in New York.
Yeah.
And it's
You could do so. You want.
But we've got to remember the enormous amount of hurt and offence. I mean,
Exactly.
Prince William absolutely reeling. Poor Princess Catherine. Spare book coming out at the most awful time. And you've got the Netflix.
Shut up, bro.
Serious.
It's absolutely this is a rehabilitation strategy.
Well, there's still. I mean, look, he's still. They're still doing these faux royal tours as well, which is just unspeakable. Helena Shard, thank you very much. Really good to talk to you. That's Helena Shard.
I think maybe after Christmas, maybe in the new year, they will say that they're going to have a different life altogether. But look at that face, looks so unhappy. And I think it's very muddled. But, Meghan's very, very good at making everything look lovely and smiley and happy. But underneath, it can't be. It just can't be.
Angela Levin, what's the latest on Harry and Meghan's relationship? What are you hearing?
Well, it's very difficult to hear anything. One minute I'm told that, they're still, way apart from each other. Another one is that they're not apart and they're together. But it doesn't make any sense to me that they are getting on better. Because if you want to, as they say, work very differently between each other, and you can have a nice time doing that, that makes a lot of sense. But you then still come back to your other half. You come back for a meal, you come back to stay with them overnight, you come back to see your children if they are there. You don't actually have nothing to do with your other half. I mean,
That doesn't make sense.
what is that? That means that it is much worse because Harry's only doing things that last a day or 2 days. He's not going out, and still nearly 3 months now that he's not gone home. That's not because he couldn't manage it. It's not one thing that he's got to finish and he can't get back. He's not filming, somewhere out of America that he has to be away. This is him finding things to do, I think. Going back into the past and joining them again. But I think it looks very bad, really. But Meghan can put on a very good face, and Harry, I think, is lost. And I think maybe after Christmas, maybe in the new year, they will say that they're going to have a different life altogether. But look at that face, you know, looks so unhappy. And I think it's very muddled. But, you know, Meghan's very, very good at making everything look lovely and smiley and happy. But underneath, it can't be. It just can't be.
The tragic thing is, though, Angela, is that Harry is almost refusing to acknowledge there's an issue simply because he doesn't want to admit that he got it wrong. When he was asked,
that's the point.
Yeah, because when he was asked about the marriage on stage, he didn't say, "Oh yeah, things are great. This is all ridiculous." He didn't say anything like that. Instead, it was all about how delighted he was to prove the trolls, as he called it, wrong. And presumably he puts people like you and me into that category because we've reported honestly on him.
Yes. Yes. I think that's right, really. It's very difficult for him because what he's got left to sort of crawl back to Buckingham Palace and say, "Wait for it, you were right and I was wrong." I mean, I can't see him doing that at all. He's stuck, isn't he? And even if he goes and finds his own home, it's still a failure. And I think I know he's felt when he was younger, he felt he was a failure. And that's why he wanted to write his books Bear, because he did feel that, you know, he couldn't do the same things that William did, not necessarily do them by hand, but he wasn't able to because he was the spare. And I think that he absolutely wouldn't want to see that William was right. He's got to get his own back on him first, and that will be terrible. So I don't know how he's going to get out of it. I think the only way, you know, maybe the king will say something, or you know, Catherine might say something because she's very homely and likes families. But, you know, he could just say one snapped sentence